Hello, and welcome to Glevum Manor. I'm Roscoe, and this is Roscoe Gaming. Now, you may have noticed some things have changed. We've now got a new thumbnail. It's called Glevum Manor Safari, and we're on episode 1 once again. And from the video, you'll see that this is a new map. Now, don't get disheartened. There's a reason I've started again. And I say started again. We're still going to use the old buildings from the previous Glevum Manor videos. I'm probably going to tweak them and use them. In the next episode, we've already used the information office with the arcade, and it fits in lovely. Buildings, I think I could do better on. The reptile house, I feel the outside was nice, but the interior I could do a lot better on. And basically, what's happened is I gave myself a good kick up the bum, because I know in myself I could do better. And the next 2 episodes prove that to me. I'm really happy with the work I've got done and putting that extra detail in. And I feel I was more interested in getting videos out there and not concentrating enough on the detail and making it a really good episode with a lot in and a lot of detail and making every area look alive. That's what it was missing. It felt like I'd built it, it felt like it worked, but it didn't feel alive. And I'm really happy with how this new entrance has turned out. I really hated the multi-story car park. It was the first thing I built for my new part-time job as a YouTuber. I say part-time job. Hobby as a YouTuber. And it was a fix to the tunnel situation, but let's be fair, it was rubbish. And I'm really hoping you like our new entrance. We do go all out on this. I really like it. We've built a dry stone wall, which is very common down British country lanes, and these places tend to be in the middle of nowhere and down country lanes. So we've got the dry stone wall in, we've got some hedges, we've put some flat proper car parks in. The building we're working on now is where you pick up your safari tickets. So you're going to pick up your safari tickets here, and then you're going to have ticket booths on the entrance. I say ticket booths, ticket huts on the entrance to the main park. So if you don't want to do the safari, you can just go to the main entrance and go straight into the park. And I wanted this building to look newer and recently built, and it's been built as the park's grown in popularity, just to relieve the amount of people going to the ticket offices. I make it 2 stories tall, and it looks too much like a big warehouse and too in your face. So later in the video we do reduce it, and it looks so much better. We don't want it to be, it's not a pretty building, it's not a building they've designed for you to look at, it is just a building that serves a purpose. And I'm really happy with how it turns out, with the car parks and the path in, and we do have a little country road. The road's off the workshop and it's really nicely done. I will link it in the description below. I don't know off the top of my head who did it, but look out for the description below. The road's really good. We use that all the way up the front of the park. Because you come in, and opposite this building we'll have the entrance to the park with the ticket booths, and then further up the road we'll have a main car park, and we'll have a coach park for coach drivers. There'll be a little cafe there for the coach drivers to chill out in, and then past that we'll have the entrance to the safari. I was never planning on doing a safari, but I really like the idea of it, and this is the sort of park it would fit into. Now the safari, we've got the entrance to that in the next episode, and I think we get some of the animals in a bit of the detail. There's a long way to go on that. But the plan is cars will be able to drive in there, but I've also put in the bus tour ride, just in case people don't want to take their cars in, because let's be fair, when you go into these driving areas, the monkeys ruin your car, and I can't imagine the lion sitting on top would do it any good either. So there is the option for people to go in without their cars, plus it gives them movement. I can't make the people in game, the peeps in game, drive round the safari in their own cars. But if you've got the ride in there with the buses running, at least there's some movement around the safari, gives it a bit of life. We're also going quite heavily into foliage, which again, my foliage use hasn't been great, and I really like how the foliage works in this park. Parks do use a lot of foliage. It's a cheap, easy way of hiding things or using it as a natural barricade, or just beautifying an area. And especially around car parks and that, which are big open slabs of tarmac, it's nice to have some greenery around it, and I think it works out really well. Now the car park, the small car park to the left of this building, that is a car park for stopping, picking up your safari ticket and then going on your way. It's a short stay car park. If you want to park up for the day, you'd go to the next car park up. We do put a sign on it saying this car park is for picking up safari tickets only. I don't want you to feel disheartened that we've started again. This is a good thing. By the end of this video, I hope that you see the improvement and the reason for starting again, and you agree that it was a good idea. I'm new to YouTube, and I think I've learnt a lot in the short time that we've been doing Glevum Manor, and I hope it shows in the next couple of videos how much I've learnt and how much more effort and detail I'm putting in. And another thing, as a new YouTuber, learning to speak for the entire length of the video is quite a learning curve. Your brain mine goes blank all the time anyway, as you've probably noticed, but I'm doing my best and I'm hoping I'm improving, so bear with me on that one. Also, it's quite an eye-opener how hard it is to get people to see your video. You think there's millions of people on YouTube every day, but the small amount of people who see your video is quite phenomenal, really. Like, you'd expect people to come across it, loads of people, but they don't. So all the people who have come across it and liked it and subscribed to my videos, I really appreciate it, and I want to give you a big thank you. As long as you're enjoying the episodes, I will keep producing them. If you do like this video, please hit the like button. It does let me know that you're enjoying the video. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. As a new YouTuber, I'm really trying to build up my subscriptions. And it's really nice to know someone's out there watching my videos. Now, we've started on the foliage, as I was saying. Around the building, we're going to go quite low foliage, just to add a bit of colour and break up the, let's be fair, quite modern, boring building. The rock work around the path I love. I think it works really nicely. There's a couple of small rocks in the game, and you just need to keep rotating them as you do the lines and changing the height slightly, just so it doesn't all look the same. The only one I haven't rotated was the dry stone wall, where I've pretty much left the stone in the same direction, but it really works, and that item is on the workshop if you like it and want to use it. It's proving quite popular. I've noticed on the workshop, people seem to like smaller items. That I don't tend to do well with the bigger buildings, but if I put on small items like little walls and fountains and things like that, they seem to be quite popular. So you'll probably see a lot more of the smaller items getting on the workshop from me rather than the bigger buildings. So look out for that. Now, where were we? We're just doing the stonework around the car park. It's little details like this I really want to concentrate on. On the bigger car park, we put a proper border around it, some planting, and small things like where the cars pull into the car park is not where the pedestrians walk out. There is a little walkway to the side of that with a zebra crossing, and there's a little barrier to protect the pedestrians from the cars, and it just makes it feel, well, I think it makes it feel alive, and I hope you feel the same. Now, we're using these bushes here as a barrier. Clearly, if someone wanted to go through them, they could, but it's just a natural barrier, just to let people know this area's off limits. The safari is quite an interesting concept. I'm looking forward to that. We do have some animals on the workshop, and I have to hold my hands up to the people designing these things for the workshop. Some of them are just beautiful. the wolves that Ms. Red Nebula done are lovely, and she's also recently released some werewolves. They're worth a look, definitely. I think they're animated as well, so get over there and have a look. Wood has just done a plushie of a camel for Rudy, which I think is brilliant. It looks so good. I've got a couple of Wood's plushies that you've seen in game, and they're really good. And one day I hope I'm popular enough that he'll do me a little raccoon plushie, because that would be really cute. A little raccoon with a little green t-shirt on and the Planet Coaster logo on it. I think I'd have that in every shop, on every counter, everywhere. I'd be like, buy my raccoon, buy my raccoon. We're just building the sign here to let people know this car park is short stay only. It's for collecting safari tickets only. I really like the orangey red and cream triangles. I think it's got that nature wild look about it for safari. Small things like that just add to it. Here we go, we're going with the surrounds for the car park. Again, these little touches I think just add, and I was neglecting these little touches, and I'm really going to concentrate on adding these little touches in the entire park so everywhere feels alive. I can't tell you how happy I am with how this all turns out. We're starting work on the ticket office at the moment. At this point in the video, I'm still under the impression that I'm making a row of ticket booths like we used from the workshop on the last episode, or the episode before that. No, last episode, definitely the last episode. So as we're building now, I'm building a row, and it doesn't turn out like that at all, and it actually turns out better. I really like the fact that you go over to these, you buy your ticket, and then you go over to the main gate. And the main gate we've used like the Manor House gates, which there's some beautiful ones in game which we've used. I don't see the point in making something that is already in game. And we've set up 2 members of staff there collecting the tickets. And if you're on Twitter, you may have seen some sneak peeks of that. I've put a couple of photos on there to show what I'm working on, and they've proved quite popular on there. Now, the till we've used is from Geekism. That's his own little model there. And it's a really nice model, but I do realise later on that we're going to put a glass sheet across this, and it's got a chip and pin machine on it, which would be impossible to use through the glass. So we use a couple of the plushes, which I put in on the left-hand side, I think, to start with. And then I realised there's a chip and pin machine, and just move the plushie over just to hide it. I would really like some leaflets or tickets or things like that. Planet Coaster is not the greatest for small items. As anyone who's played or watched Planet Coaster knows, that they like their giant items. Their scale is quite big, so when it comes to little counters like this and putting detailed items on the counter, it's quite difficult to come up with ideas. So you'll see me scrolling through and trying different things. I really like this sign here. If you just embed it in like that, it just looks like it's sat there. And we got the little stool, which we put the animatronic figures on. Again, I'm loving the animatronic figures. You can colour their clothing all the same colour, so it looks like uniform. And unlike staff, when you put staff there, not that I figured out how to do this yet, this is still something I haven't figured out, but I've seen it in other videos. I'm sure they get bored and miserable just stood there, and you have to pay them lots of money. And the animatronics don't. They just little robots who's happy to do what they do. So we're going to use this lady sat on the stool here. The colour scheme I've gone for is white and green, and it just flows throughout all the animatronics I use and works really well. And let's be fair, these booths are just for shows, so why pay a member of staff to be there when we can use animatronics who don't look bored? I love this wooden piece I've used with the detailing on it, the green and the yellow and the blue. Really nice. I think I also use it for the canopy above the ticket booth. And I wasn't sure on it at first, but it sort of turns out so it looks like at the end of the day you could drop down the canopy and close the shop, as it were. I think I've made it so you couldn't possibly do that, but maybe once upon a time they were closable and then they've been made more permanent. I'm still under the impression I'm making a row of these, so I'm looking for things to join them up, and then all of a sudden, I think in about 5 seconds, I'd go, wait a minute, we'll do this. And there we go. We've turned it into a forward-facing building. And we're going to take that wall out. We're going to move the sign across. Again, the pricing may not be accurate to how much it costs people to get into the park. It's just there for more realism's sake. I've got the big sign that says goodie bags, £7, I think it says. And a lot of parks do these. You end up with maps and information and maybe a key ring and just things you put in a goodie bag. It's just that extra income, and let's be fair, these places are always after that extra income. I use the newspapers a lot. I would love some tickets or some leaflets to go on there, but my options are slim, so we've gone with tickets. Here we go, we're using the plushie to hide the chip and pin machine. Now, I don't know if you, as a viewer, like watching all these little details for like when I'm putting the rocks in and the edging in, and it's quite repetitive, but as I feel that's part of the process, and the videos I watch, I quite like watching the process, so I include the process in this. Obviously, if you want me to cut those little processes out, leave a comment below and I'll take it into consideration. Also, if you don't like me babbling on for the entire video and would like me to go back to my music, let me know about that as well. But I have put a lot of practice into talking for such a long period of time, and I think I'm getting better at it. I've always watched YouTube videos and people just chat away as they're doing their videos or doing their time lapse in the background, and they make it sound so easy. And then I came to do it and I'm like, whoa, this is a long time to be talking. How do I fill this space? So I end up babbling, and I do that in real life anyway. So now I thought I'd tell you a few things about myself, because you don't really know a lot about me. And there's me going, please watch my videos, please like my videos, please do this. I'm Roscoe. I'm a shoe shop manager. That's quite an experience. You'd be amazed at some of the stories I have to tell from that. I've been in the shoe shop for 10 years now. Oh, there was a little white blip then. I do apologise. That was an awful cut from one video to the next. I live with my boyfriend. We have 4 cats, all rescue cats. Leela's the one who's currently trying to get on my lap, and she's obsessed with me. I am her daddy, and she doesn't want anyone else. She just wants first off me 100% of the time, which, let's be fair, is not possible. We're just working on the gate to the park here. Now, these gates are in game and they're beautiful and just what I wanted. And I don't see the point in building something that's already in game. The wall, I wanted a simple brick wall, but with a bit of detail. So we had a couple of layers of the creamy coloured sandstone, I presume it would be, to add some detail. We've put this lamp on top, which works really nicely. It's actually a full-size lamp. Street lamp, but we sink it into the brick and then we use that piece to put the base on it, and I think it turns out really nicely. Again, this wall is available on the workshop and people seem to be liking it, so if you do like the wall and want to use it, head over to my Steam channel, Steam profile, not channel. I don't have a channel, it's a profile. Now we're working on the entrance. We've duplicated the ticket booth, so we're gonna have, you can sort of see where I'm going now. We're going to have those either side. A lot of greenery around them. Another thing I didn't consider whilst building this was how the people get into the ticket office to work. You'll see me play around with the hedge and try and make a gap in it, and it just doesn't work. So for all of you out there thinking the same thing, I've decided that we pay them enough money that they can climb over the hedge to get to work. I have put a door in the back for them. I thought about that much. And then we get to this stage and I start building it up and enclosing it in and putting hedges and bushes and trees in there just to fill it in and make it look natural. And then I go, oh, wait a minute. How are they going to get into the building? So you'll see that I use the terrain tool to paint where the grass has been worn away where they walk in, so you can see how they get in, but they do have to hop over a hedge to do it. Not a very big hedge. I think the hedge on the side here is double height, where around where they supposedly hop in is single height, if I remember correctly. Now, I hope you're enjoying the episode. I think I may have done that already. Clearly you can see that we're getting towards the end of the video and I'm running out of material. But please keep watching. The next couple of episodes I plan on being... Well, I know the next episode's good. I've already recorded it. And it's just like this. We are going fully detailed. And it brings the front of the park to life. It's so nice to see afterwards. I won't do a walk around at the end of this video because we're still working on the car parks in the front of the park. So we'll probably do a walk around on the next video. And I really intend to carry on the rest of the park in this detail. We do want it to feel alive and lived in. And for example, here where we've got the grass is worn away, where people have walked to the back of the building to get in. I suppose they could have just hopped over the counter, couldn't they? I think the staff in game actually hop over the counter when they get fed up or they're going on break. They just hop over, don't they? So I didn't really need that door. But it's nice to have a door. Let's be fair. I may expect them to hop over a hedge, but here we're using the barriers to make a queuing system. Clearly they're not going to use it because these are just for show, but I think it finishes it off nicely, and we've just skipped to the other side, and we're going to do pretty much the same thing over this side. We'll build a hedge round it, we'll move that one back. We do eventually put the Glevum Manor sign in the middle where I've left empty, and I think it works really nicely there. I wasn't sure where to put it because with the tree and all the rocks around it, it's quite a big sign, but I think it works really nicely, and it gives a scent. I wanted a centerpiece out the front there, but nothing too grand. And like if it was going to be a fountain, that would be in the park. They wouldn't have put it out the front. So I hope you agree that the sign works nicely there. I'm not sure how far we get on this episode. I think we do put the staff in at the gate collecting tickets. A lot of this is paving work, as you can see. I really like this as paving. It works so well. In previous videos you've seen me use it a lot. I am learning to do the angles and overlap it more, where before I would just put down a big square area and work around that, where here I have to go on a diagonal to fill in those smaller bits. And when I put the sign in and I put the rocks around it, I try and make it rounded around the sign rather than square, and that works really nicely as well. Again, very heavy on trees in this area. Let's be fair, parks like this do have a lot of trees. We've just changed the barrier to green because that is our colour, and green seems to work really nicely in this area. I felt the red was too harsh and stood out too much. Now, I think we finished the video by adding the people at the gate, if I'm correct. Yes, here we go. So we're going to add a little... The gate's a bit big, so we're going to cut it off. Obviously, depending on how busy it is, I presume they'd open up this barrier area to funnel more people through, but have more people on the gates. For the time being, we're going to go with this. We're going to have the barrier up there. There'll be a couple of people accepting tickets. I'm not really sure how busy the park's going to get, in all fairness. It's been a long time since I've actually opened the park and watched the people come in. I'd imagine there's going to be quite a flood. I'm trying to figure out how to build some sort of table or removable desk or something here. And in the end, I think I go with a couple of tables and chairs off the workshop, which are really nicely made, like really nice. Again, they'll be linked in the description below. I can't remember who did it. Again, look at the description below, but they're really nice. I can imagine doing a food court area with a bit on the front where you use these seats and tables. And again, the people in game aren't going to use them. They're not able to sit on them, which is a shame because they are a really nice item. And we're just gone to put some random electric box in the back there because clearly I found it as I was doing this and went, I know where that could go. So we're going to put some newspapers on there again, so it's like information that they might give out or tickets they've collected. We've put an umbrella there for a bit of shade for them. There's me trying to figure out how to make a counter again, but we've just gone simple. Basically, this is going to need to be an area that they can modify and make bigger and smaller and change how many people are working on the gate, how many people are allowed in through the gate. So using these items makes sense. And that would be the end of the video, and I've done the opposite. Where I don't normally fill the video with talking, I've gone too far. So here's a quick snapshot, and I hope you enjoyed the episode, and until next time, goodbye.